Some were picked on the streets. Some were left to die in the cold. Some lost their parents and were left without anyone to look after them. They had nowhere to go. Until a good Samaritan came their way, they found a friend and a home. Shungudzevana Children's Home, giving children a chance in life.
Shungudzevana Trust was born in 1992 in April, after I've been approached by 3 children who were living in the streets of Harare. The reason for them to approach me was that they wanted somewhere to stay or to work. They were frightened because one of their colleagues has died. They just approached me when I was walking on my way to the college, and they asked me if I could house them. But what surprised me more was they called me sister, and I thought in Zimbabwe we have a lot of churches with people who call each other brother and sister. Though in the Catholic Church we know a sister is a religious person, a nun who has devoted her life to work for the Lord. But when I asked them why they were calling me sister, they told me that because they've seen from the way you are walking, which made me laugh a lot. I laughed to the ground, and a lot of people were looking at me wondering why I was laughing and why I was sort of playing with such children, whom those days were considered very dangerous, because that is the time where they could snatch your handbag anytime, your necklaces, jewelries. But in me, they found a friend, and I would say I found friends in them as well. The number of my friends grew to 16, and I approached His Grace, the late Archbishop Patrick Fanichakaipa, who was then the Archbishop of Harare. And I told him about my meeting with my friends who were living in the streets. But with strict words, he told me to be very, very careful and seek advice from my sister, who was an assistant police commissioner, and she was working in the Midlands province.
From an incident that happened in 1992, where Sister Mercy met 3 boys on the streets and started looking after them, Shungudzevana has grown to more than 330 children.
Sister Mchikambisi, vamoti Sister Mchikambisi ndakakura achinzitirirai. Saka tirirai uyu anga ari musikana akangwara. Airova vakomana airova vasikana anga asina mhosva kuti uyu mukuru kwandiri kana kuti kudini. Tirirai aiti akauya kuraini kwedu kwamatemera, gogo ndauya oya nehuni dzake, gogo ngetisumuke tinamate, ndonamatiswa natirirai, gogo ndakuenda udaro kwemazuva akati kuti.
Mercy Muchkambizi has got a lot of stories which I want to say. I may not be able to say all of them deliberately or for a reason, but Mercy Muchkambizi is someone who grew up with a very fragile health and was brought up in Mondoro by my maternal grandmother, Pauline Chiparidza Kanengoni Nishumbaya Wanda, a great lady indeed, whom I would want to thank if she would be here today. She will be smiling to see a product through me.
Mwana akaberekwa ndakatarira achigara nambuya vake ndo vakamurera kusikira akure, kusikira ambuya vazoshaya iye atoveko akura, asi akanga asati akuita zvaari kuita, akazosara oita gumbo ririko yezvineri ambuya vafa.
I was born in Bulawayo in 1963 on the 19th of November in Mpilo Hospital. My parents were living in Muzilikazi, and I happened to be the victim of circumstances because my parents divorced when I was only 3 months old. In 1977, I fell ill, and my upper breast was like swollen and coming back, swollen and coming back, and my grandma was always taking me to Mbaira General Hospital, where the nurses were putting me this stinky stuff to think if it is an abscess, it will ripe in time. But it was not an abscess. I think it was something which was going to be cancerous if it was not removed in 1978 at Harare Hospital. But nevertheless, there was a thing called war, which I highly participated at a very, very tender age. When I tell some people that I participated in that war, most of people won't believe me.
Tozoti muhondo 1980 kunzi natirirai vaita zvana chimbwiro chichi handina kuzombomuona tirirai. Tozoti hondo yapera tamusisifai kunzi tirirai akupinda chikoro kupi kuHarare kunight school. Ndaisingambozva kuti anonzi Messi. Kuzoti 2010 kunzi kune anniversary yekubasa kwaanoshanda achichengeta nherera. Zvambotaurwa kuchechi kwangu kuSaravation zvakanzi toda kunamatira sister Messi Muchkambizi ari kurwara, saka minoti vana izvinezvi vanobatsirwa nei kana azofa. Ndakati Messi Muchkambizi, saka ndiye tirirai zvakanaka. Vanoti 2010 kwaitwa anniversary, ndakati kana ndoda kutoenda ndinoona kuti ichokwadi here ndiye ari kusumudzira kuno kuMondoro kwese kwatinongonzwa kunzi vari kubatsirwa natirirai, rega ndiende. Ndobva ndaenda, chokwadi ndakafara nemabasa aitwa nani nemusikana uyu. Musikana uyu chikuru nchekuti aiti akati gogo kupamba penyu haabve asina kunamata. Saka ndinongoti Mwari akasusukidza mabasa ake. Dai Mwari worugare aramba akangotichengetera, nokuti vana vazhinji nezvavamaticha vakudhiraivha ndege vakabuda muhokomani matirirai.
A good young Christian who was born and bred a Catholic, with a very practicing grandma and grandpa, I decided that I want to be a nun. So wherever I want to go to church, even if the food is not ready, I'll leave the food and I'll go to church. So when I decided that I'm going to the convent, no one was surprised in my family, especially at my maternal family. So yes, I went to the convent and I became a nun. But in 1988, I was also diagnosed with blood cancer, which they call leukemia, which I've lived with until to date. Yes, I went through a lot of medical treatments in Germany, in UK, in South Africa, and here. But I'm living with that cancerous disease. I also had a stroke in 2010. When I had that stroke, it was terrible because I was just sitting with my little friends at Shungudzevana by the veranda. But I managed to drive myself to a trauma center, and I was admitted at Avenues Clinic. After a month or so, I was discharged, and I went to recuperate in Chinoi at the LCB Original House, where I had a second stroke. And Mama decided to come and collect me, and I was re-hospitalized. But yeah, I'm okay. Here and there, yes, I'm fragile, but I don't want to entertain it. I've got 7 scissors on me, 7 operations from different elements. So maybe I've gone through all the illnesses which people can, normal illnesses which people can get on earth.
The home houses children as young as minutes old to teenagers both in secondary and university level.
Shungudzevana began working with us in 1998. The organization is assisting the kids by paying their levies. These kids definitely come from poor families, and most of them, 90% should I say, are orphaned. They do not have both parents. Besides that, offering the financial support, they are also assisting the school, especially the ECD department, with beans. They give us beans, which we cook for our young kids in the early childhood department. So we find out that before they came to assist these children, they were dropouts. So after getting this assistance, they are now able to come to school.
Ini ndinonzi Mai Jane Gwatidzo. Tiri pa Goroni, St. Boniface School, Mondoro. Ini ndiri coordinator wevana veshungudzevana. Ndinopota chitumwana sister ndichibhadhara vana, ndichiona kuti vana vakamira sei. Vanochengeta nherera. Nevamwe vana vanoshupika vanoshaya. Saka vanopota vachivabhadhara mari dzekuchikoro, vatsvagira mbatya, chikafu chekudya nemagumbeze ekufuga, vachibetsera vana ivavo.
vazhinji inherera dzakangosiyiwa nevabereki. Saka vana ivavo nherera vagarawo nevabereki vanongovachengetawo mukati imomo muno mumhondoro.
Ndinofara zvikuru nekuti inini ndakashayikirwa nevana vangu vaviri ava. Saka ndisati ndichaziva kana kuti ndoita zvipi. Mumwe baba namai, mumwe mai nababa, ndakanga ndatopererwa. Munoziva kuti unoshaya kuti wotangira papi. Asi nekungorangana kuti Mwari imi ndimuchapindira, ndimuchandibatsira. Takazofara pane Shungudzevana ningirikini sister Messi nevamwe vavo vachitipinzira vana zvikoro nekutenga maunifomu nechikafu. Takanzwa kunyaradzwa pamatambudziko atakanga tasangana nawo.
Vamwe vacho vashoma ndo vane vabereki vanotambudzika vavari kubatsira vana vavo kuenda kuchikoro. Vana ivavo vari kugara nzvimbo dzakasiyana-siyana muno mumhondoro, misha yakasiyana-siyana. Vamwe vanofamba distance yema 2 kilometers 4 5 6 vanhu kuti vari kubva nzvimbo dzakasiyana-siyana. Vana ivavo i50 vepano paGoroni, vekuseko vokwaita esekondari kuRio Tindo kune 48. Toita vamwe vari kwakwari vari kurukuma kune 10. Toita vari kwaMakaure kune 9. Toita vari kuChirundazi primary school ine 8, secondary ine 3. Vese ivavo imhuri inochengetwa nasister.
We have our home in Hatfield here, which is supposed to host only 35 children, according to our certificate from the city of Harare. But most of the time, the Department of Social Services, they waive. They always give us a waiver because of too many children who need somewhere to stay. And also we have put that provision for that if the children are to be found wanting of a place to put their head, we also have spare beds to do that. Our lifestyle at Shungudzevana, the priority number one is that the kids, they get food, shelter, they get medical treatment, they have clothes, and last but not least, they have to go to school.
Uyu ndiwo musha wedu weShungudzevana uyu watiri kuvavarirawo kuti tivake. Pashungu dzedu dzatiri kuda kuti zviite hazvisati zvaita nekuda kwekuti mari ndo iri kunyanya kutinetsa kuti tiwane mari yekuti tivake musha wedu. Saka panapa pane vana vanogara panapa vachienda kuchikoro, vanogara vana 16. Iye zvino vanenge vari kuholiday kuHarare. VekuHarare vanouyawo kunoku musha kunoku kuti vazodzidzawo zvekunoku musha, kuti vangokura vachiziva kuti kumusha kwakamira sei, kuHarare kwakamira sei, uye zvatiri kudya kuHarare vazive kuti zvinobva muvhu, ndosaka vachiuya kunoku kuholiday. Saka tiri kungoshuvirawo kuti dai Mwari anga atingotibetserawo, tawanawo vanotichemawo. Toda kuti musha wedu uvakwe kupinda zvauri izvozvi ndo pane shungu dzedu, nokuti tine zvakawanda zvatoda kuti tiite zvinokwanisa kutibatsira mukuchengeta vana ivavo.
Even those who are living in Mondoro, they got the same treatment. They have the same diet. They have a good school which they go, especially when they're at secondary level. And we have seen most of our children at Rio Tindo Mondoro High School and Ruizi Secondary School coming up with flying colors. If a child come up with 11 A's, what more one would want in a rural school? If a child come out with 7 A's, 3 B's, what more one would want? For us, we think they are doing very well and they are at a good school.
My role as the senior master is that of monitoring the academic development of our students here, that is, and also our teachers, are they carrying out their duties? Are they teaching? If there are any problems, I would forward them to the headmaster and the deputy headmaster. And within our school, we have got now some students who are being helped by Shungudzevana, which is an organization which at this point, I would say it has helped us a lot. And also the community, the Mondoro community, especially Ruizi area, because most of these students, they come from Ruizi area. I would like to give great thanks to Sister Mchikambizi.
As a school, we have a very big part to play in the upbringing of the child. But at the same time, we also expect the family, the community, to assist as much as possible. Like we are looking at our school being a day school. Yes, we have the kids here up to, say, 4 o'clock. And what happens thereafter, if reports don't come to the school, there are some issues that can go on without us being aware. But we are trying, like this year, we are thinking of holding sessions with parents. They come in, we discuss, especially with our exam classes. We are looking at situations where we are going to have some sessions where we call in the parents, especially of the Form 4 students and the Form 6 students who are facing exams. We hold discussions, we talk with the parents, we also hear what the students themselves think in as far as their education is concerned and how they see themselves progressing. And we hope with such sessions, we are trying to make the students see that from the school side, we are interested in the student attaining better life, attaining better results that will take the student somewhere. And at the same time, we also want to expose the students to the feeling of the parent, to know that the parent is also, has some keenness on the learning of the child. And that way, maybe they'll even come to know that even whatever behavior they show outside the school, the parents still have a very big role to play in interaction with the school. So if reports come to the school and we interact with the parents in as many ways as possible, we hope somehow we'll curb some of these problems. Although, of course, we want to admit that we'll still have some students who are sort of difficult, and some of them, because of their backgrounds, some are not staying with their parents, some are staying with guardians, some are like coming from child-headed families. But in your case, I know you're doing your best. You are playing that role of the parent where the parent is not there. You are standing in as the parent. And we've seen you most of the time coming in to make reports where you're not happy with the behavior of some of the children who are staying like at Goroni. We have seen you coming in with some reports, asking us to sit down and talk with those students. So all those ways we are hopeful they'll take us somewhere in as far as the behavior of the child is concerned. Yes.
Sure.
Currently, the center is home to more than 330 children, including those who live with foster parents.
These are the families whom we approach to take the children in, and we are to support them with food, bed linen, uniforms, clothing, hospital fees, and education. What we want from these families is the shelter, the parental love and guidance. That is why we want the children to stay in different families.
Over 130 children have passed through the home since its formation. Most of them have become successful professionals in fields such as medicine, engineering, nursing, and teaching.
Yeah, my name is Shungudzevana Jonas, and I'm doing business management and IT at Catholic University. And my wish is to proceed with my education. When I proceed with my education, I wish also to help my young brothers and sisters who are at Shungudzevana Trust. Shungudzevana Trust started to help me while I was doing grade 7 until I finished my high school.
They say I was brought in at a young age. I barely know my parents or much about them. But being brought to Shungudzevana Trust not only changed my life, but it also altered my experiences and chances. I began my grade 1 at Martindale Primary School in Cebu. Having completed my grade 7 with good results, I then proceeded to Gweru at Regina Mundi High School, where I was there until Form 4. I passed with flying colors and managed to proceed to Roosevelt Girls High in Harare for a change of environment and decent exposure. There, I not only gained academic exposure, but sporting too. In 2008, I was proud to be captain of a girls' team that qualified for the Top Schools Nationals. Not only did I owe this success to my school and my coaches, but I also owed it to Shungudzevana Trust for having given me this opportunity. Now, a few years later, here I am, completing my Bachelor of Arts Dual Honours degree, a first degree in my life, and this could not have been possible had it not been for Shungudzevana Trust, that not only gave me a new lease to life, but gave my life a meaning and a worth to live.
Shungudzevana is the Shungudzevana Trust or Shungudzevana Children's Home, as the name denotes, is an organization that was founded from the passion to see the betterment of our children's lives, regardless of their backgrounds. More so, it emanated from the deep passion to see children coming from disadvantaged backgrounds, to see them at a better platform, at a better position in life.
Sister Mercy believes that, like any other child, those living on the streets need love, kisses and embraces, as well as a decent burial should the need arises.
Ndiyoti pandinoona Sister Mercy ndinongomuona samai Maria nebasa raanoita rokuchengeta nherera dzakarasiwa, vamwe vanotova nehama dzinotoziva kuti akarashira mwana mugomba rakati, asi iye wakatora akachengeta. Neni pachangu ndina vana vangu vakachengetwa naye, vakachengetwa naye vakatopinda chikoro vakakura ari unochengeta.
We have a system that a child must be given a second chance, if not a third chance, to repeat their secondary level, so that when we win them off, they have somewhere to start. For us to win a child without O level is very, very difficult. Of course, you may ask questions that sister, some of people when we are calling children, they are 20 years old, but it depends how old were they when they came to Shungudzevana Trust.
My name is Charlotte Makope. I'm doing Bachelor of Arts degree at UZ, and I'm in part 1. My wish is to proceed in success. I also wish to aim higher so that I can help my young siblings at Shungudzevana Trust or anywhere else in my country or in any other country. I appreciated everything that is done at Shungudzevana Trust in sponsoring us so that we can be able to reach our dreams and achieve whatever goals we want to achieve in our lives. I appreciated that a lot. Shungudzevana Trust started to help me when I was 9 years old. That is to say, I was in grade 4 up until now at my tertiary education. And I'm very grateful and thankful to Sister Mercy and all the Shungudzevana Trust board members, sponsors, and everyone who assisted us.
If we are saying we are to help children, we have to be seen helping children through love, through parental guidance, through parental love, that this child will say, yes, in this world there are some people who want to see Zimbabwe with good children.
To help sustain its activities, Shungudzevana runs a number of farming projects that include chicken and piggery projects in Hertford.
Tinorimawo zvinhu zvakaita semuriwo, madomasi, potatoes, mutatine spinach mugreenhouse iri apa iyi. Yese takatengesa yakapera, izvino tadzvara madomasi mugreenhouse iri apa. Kana azoita ndovatotengesa munharaunda. Nematanga edu enguru ari panapa taimbochema nekuda taona rimwe danga ratingavakirwa bhuloku redanga saka takavakirwa rimwe ine zvikamuri zvinokwana kuita 20. Mune nguruve dzirimo. Nguruve zedu dzatinadzo panapa dzinogara dzakati manezike mbijana nekuti matanga edu asati taona rimwe danga rakatinakei futi. tikawana anotivakira rimwe danga towana nguruve dzedu dzopinda pakanaka. Tine about 178 nguruve dzatinadzo panapa. Saka tachikumbirawo at least tatawana munotibetsera kuti tivake rimwe bloko tiise nguruve dzedu dzigare dzakatambanuka. Kozoita imwe nyaya yatinayo panapa ndeyekuti nguruve dzedu idzi tinogona kudzislota kaviri pamwedzi tichiposta kuenda kuHarare tinotengesa kuHarare.
The reason of doing these practical projects is to try to raise some funds. Our wish is to do it in a very large scale, but resources are our impediment.
Ndiri mubereki pano, ndine mwana ari kudzidziswa ari kubhadharirwa zvikoro nasister muchikambisi. Uyezve ndiri mumwe wavabereki anouya achizodzidzisa vana, kungave kudyarwa kunoitwa madomasi kana kurera nguruve dziya dzatinorera pano. Zvimwe zvose zvinoitwa pano tinenge tiri pamwe chete nevana tichivarairidza kuti zvinoitwa sei, kuitira kuti mukukura kwavo ivo sevana vakuriwo vari vana vakarongeka, kwete kungove vana vasingazivi zvavari kuita.
Whenever you call, whenever you cry, He's there to carry you. Whenever you cry, whenever you call.
We have so many challenges. Thousands of them. Resources like cash is our challenge number one, because we need cash. Children, for them to go to school, we pay. For children to go to hospitals, which are not Harare hospitals or Parenyatwa, we have to pay. We send the children to Parenyatwa to go to Harare hospital. Sometimes it depends on who is on the desk. You may see them being returned, that the Department of Social Services is not paying, or they will be the last ones to be treated. And we've realized that a lot of our children are dying, especially when they go to Harare hospital. So sometimes we end up going the expensive route. Another big challenge is that, like now, as we are to build, we don't have a single pen or a brick which cost 20 cents or 40 cents. Our Mondoro Center, also the buildings are still very, very sketchy. They need to be completed, because as I'm talking now, one unit is the one which is complete. The second unit, it's only bricks, rivers, and the gravel. There's no completion of it or foundation at the ground, because we don't have money to buy cement. In Mondoro, we wanted just to do the simple rural community houses around and thatched houses, so that the children will know how to live a life in the rural areas. We also want to build a welding workshop and another workshop for batik, or people who want to to do sewing, dressmaking. So they may sell the uniforms in the nearby schools, but we don't have money to build such. And we wanted to grow mushroom. We had started growing mushroom, but our place is very small where we are growing mushroom. There's a lot of demand. We also want to renovate our chicken run and to have irrigation in Mondoro, so that our cash cash crops may increase in terms of fields, because we'll be having enough water from irrigation. Because we can grow and grow, but without enough irrigation, the crops will die.
Wondering how you can help, wondering what you can do to help a person like me be a better citizen. It's quite simple. You can offer paying fees for a child of your choice. You can provide school materials, books, rulers, stationery of your choice. Apart from that, even that one packet of billy meal that you can provide for us is more than enough for us to see a meal's day. You can do this by buying us foodstuffs, clothing, stationery materials, and other things of your choice that you think might be necessary for us. I thank you for the advancement, and I thank you for all that you're about to do for us to help us see a better future and a better Zimbabwe. Thank you.
Shungudzevana Children's Home, giving children a chance in life.
Kutambudza mwana wangu, mwana wangu.
Sekuru wangu vakandibata chibharo, vakasungwa, vakabuditswa mujeri. Ini ndakanotariswa kwachiremba, ndakaonekwa ndiri HIV positive. Hama dzangu dzavakundisema kunge ndakasarudza kuti ndive HIV positive. Kunyangwe muchindisema ndisina anondiona. Shoko raMwari kuna mapsalma 23. Jehovha ndiye mufudzi wangu, hapana chandinoshayiwa. Anondivasa pasi pamafuro manyoro, anondisesedza pamvura inozorodza, anondiponesa mweya wangu, anondifambisa panzira dzekurama nekuda kwezita rake. Zviro kwazvo nyange ukafamba